Good morning, everybody. I was running behind and forgot to make a cup of tea. So sadly, I am not drinking a cup of tea. Good morning, Rach. Oh, thank you. Dobson to who comfy seat. I always have comfy seats. Oh my goodness. It is good to see everybody. AJ thinks that she needs to be a part of this too. Because she sees I'm talking. Yes. It's talking. No, you will get your video ban. All right. So it's the start of a brand new week. Things are already crazy this month. As you see, I no longer have Kirby with me because Kirby has to go to a different home. Apparently, I did not retain custodyship of Kirby. So I'm not going to get more into that. But today's topic is free writing and automatic writing. And this is a great way to help you be creative every day, to get juices flowing before you start something. It's just, you never know what's going to come out of it. So I want to share some information about free writing. So once upon a time, I went to a poetry thing at a coffee shop in Fort Worth called 5 Star Coffee Shop. And the event was called 5-Minute Writing with 5 Star. And so what would happen is you would show up, they would hand you a sticky note, and you would write down a word or phrase, and then you would fold that up, you'd put it in the jar, and then they would pick one and start a timer for 5 minutes, and you would try to write. The nice thing is it's just 5 minutes. The bad thing is sometimes it is only 5 minutes. And you'll understand why this happens, but sometimes you couldn't come up with anything. So we would always say, if you can't come up with anything, write your grocery list, write a to-do list, just try to get pencil on paper. Try to get pen on paper. Don't worry. Nothing came. It's okay. That prompt just didn't work for you. Just try to write for 5 minutes till the timer goes off. And then sometimes you would get an idea or a poem or a haiku or something. And then it would be the end of 5 minutes and you'd be like, no, it was just getting good. Let me make notes. And more little stories or short stories or things came out of that free writing than you would think. Sometimes if I'm having a hard time and I'm not really sure about a passage, or I have a kind of vague idea of what needs to go on, sometimes I'll just pull a prompt. I'll search for a prompt and I'll go with it, set a timer for 5 minutes, and just let it go. And sometimes that 5 minutes will turn into 10, will turn into 20, and before you know it, I'm written a chapter. So it's okay. And if you don't have if you don't know where to find prompts, if it's too difficult, there are some fun things you can do. You could pick an emotion. I have a couple of things that I use. I have a little oracle deck that I bought a long time ago. And they're very, very simple. And so, like this says barrier. And it has a guy like stuck in a barrier. And so sometimes these are really good as prompts to just get me started. So maybe, pick up a poetry magnet thing. Grab one of those out. What else do I have? I have a few things, but I have like some naughty games. So, like if I'm working through a sex scene or something like that, which can be very difficult, you have to kind of be in the mood. You have to, sex scenes take a lot of work. So I have a couple of naughty card games to get me started, just in case. But also I do a prompt a day in our Discord. You can always find sites that do prompts a day. For instance, the one I use the most is Writers Write. And they do a daily and a monthly prompt. Let me share this link. So this is the link. I'm going to leave this up there for a few moments. And they do a 30 writing prompts for the month, or 31, depending. And they also do daily writing prompts. For instance, I will share my screen. Okay, so you go to Writers Write, and it's under Everything Library. You'll see writing prompts down here. And this is how they share it. So it's just a write about your spirit animal. You can set a timer. Very easy peasy. Totally distracted by the happy box. So let me stop streaming that. So do any of you guys take part in free writing or automatic writing as a tool in your toolbox as an author or writer? I know Jen free writes 10 minutes every day to just brain dump, which I'm very proud of her. It took me a minute to find the website when I've posted on days you don't. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for posting them. I really appreciate it when I wasn't there. Never been good at free writing. Sometimes I think it takes the pressure off if you remember that all you have to do is write for 5 minutes. Like when I was taking part in a camp or a nano event at one point, I was having a bad day. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to set a timer. I only have to write for 5 minutes. At least I'll get some words. And setting that and saying, hey, I only have to, actually turned into 20 minutes and I finished a chapter. So sometimes just giving yourself that timer and saying you only have to do it for this long, that might help. I get blank page phobia and sit and stare at it. Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, Angela. It's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Maybe doodle. Doodle first. I know, our Ange. We haven't seen you in so long. We miss you. Maybe doodle first, and therefore the page isn't blank. Or maybe instead of looking for a word, look for a picture. I like your doodles, lady. Maybe think instead of looking for a word, maybe try a picture. Maybe it's a visual thing. Miss you too. I've got a forgetful noggin. Oh no, you're fine, hon. Maybe, which we'll be talking about next time, which is image streaming. That's where you pick an image and you write how the image makes you feel, how it might work for the environment your character's in. maybe giving them some senses. So maybe try, instead of a word, try a picture. Type into Google, this scene needs to feel or something. Maybe I just need to write nothing over and over and over again for 5 minutes. Hey, if that works for you, and then you start writing, then hey, give it a try. You never know. You never know. It's worth a go. We always like to say it's 5 minutes. Anybody can write something down for 5 minutes, even if it is just the word something. Take your time, write down something in different fonts. Bubble something. Maybe go through and see what all fonts you have in your Google Drive. I need to add some more. Word, not work. So yeah, image streaming is another version of it. So now we talked about that. Oh, wow. All the stuff that's coming up. I am 2 installments away from Hematite Without Faith going up on Kindle Vella. I'm so excited. Let me see if I can grab the cover. If I put it in here. I don't know if I have. I haven't. Let me go to June or is it May? So this has a little bit more than the cover, but Hematite Without Faith is coming soon to Kindle Vella. I'm so excited. 2 more installments to go. I should have that done this week. So yay. Oh, thank you. I'm working on a listing of Vella promo groups to share. Ooh, that's awesome. And then let's see, I am working my way through the developmental edits and things like that for book 3. And I start working on revising the newsletter free read that's coming up, Code of Fire, which is not a romance. So this is going to be new. This is especially for my groups, my people that love the series, Fire series already. They know who Tony is. They've read book 2. They know who Landon is. And this is about Tony and Landon and when Tony goes to pick up Landon, because Tony won't leave anyone behind. So I'm really excited to bring that to you guys. And it's fiction for me. It's the first time just writing fiction, not a romance. So I'm really proud of that one. Oh, Brandy gave me something. Hold on. Let's see what else is happening this week. I have a boot. Some of you might not know, but apparently, according to my very Texan podiatrist, I have a honking great heel spur on the back of my left ankle. And so I am in a boot to try to release some of the pressure. I also have calcium buildup in my tendon, the tendon that goes across my ankle, down. And so that's rubbing against the heel spur. So yeah. I'm going to try to talk him into doing the surgery sooner rather than later. because eventually I'm going to be on a van. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you're just tuning in and you don't know who I am and you don't know what's going on, of course you can always find the playlists for these videos and the previous chapters. But Jen and I are working on transitioning from residential life to van life starting in October. We have a 2-year window to downsize and get a van. And so we've already picked our top 3. We know what floor plan we like. So we're already there on that. Right now I'm researching solar and how much that will need, and that kind of thing. As we're going to be doing a lot of boondocking or dry camping where we're not going to be on shore power or water hookups or things like that. So we're going to be responsible for our own. That was a very strange noise behind me.
Destiny.
So we'll have to worry about how much water we have on and how much we're using, things like that. So we're excited about that. It's not a situation of we want to be van life. I mean, I think we would rather be in a bricks and mortar, but the cost of it right now is not doable for a struggling author and a person on fixed income. So van life is how we're going to have to go, because we'll end up saving more that way than we would trying to get an apartment or rent a house or something like that. So, and they don't have small houses in Texas. We don't understand small houses in Texas. Right, Jen?
Yep. Even men are a bit confused by
that. It's not just you. So many people are finding out their situation. Yeah. I have a Meals on Wheels client, which I had to take a sabbatical from Meals on Wheels because I've nearly fallen twice with this boot. And I don't think I can do stairs. And one of my clients is upstairs. But one of my clients that I delivered to is paying $1,700 for an apartment. And it's not a good apartment complex. And she's asked repeatedly for them to put a railing on her stairs going down to the parking lot. And they still haven't done it. I'm like, wait, I'm paying $1,700 and you're still not going to put a safety rail? Excuse me? So, yeah. It's just, there's no way we could pay that and still have money for bills and food and medical and things like that. So we will be staying in the North Texas area. We'll have to come back to the DFW area frequently because of both of our medical situations. So I know. I mean, yeah. I'm like, I don't understand how that's okay, but all right. But yeah, so that's some of what's been going on. So if you are interested in Bark Adventures, the link is down below. But if you would like to sign up for our newsletter or anything like that, or check out Bark Adventures where we're recording that. So this is Bark Adventures. Also, if you are interested in my other pen name, and Crow, which is who the Kindle Villa is going to be under, I also have a newsletter there and all of that funness. And the links are down below, I believe. And if you are interested in my writing coaching and things like that, I have a newsletter for that about writing coaching and mentorship. And that's at subscribepage.com as the crow flies. I'm currently writing my next Medium article, and that's under my Ann Crow pen name. Oh, gosh. Wow. Are you guys ready for me to read? Are you ready to hear the next chapter? Okay. We are on chapter 12. If you would like to hear any of the previous chapters or the previous book, click on my channel, go to playlists, and you will find the playlist for Into the Fire, which is book 1, and you'll find the playlist for The Fire Inside. Yes, reads. I need to use my gift certificate to get you on my romance plotting. Woohoo! But after I have more time. I can understand that. Okay, we are on chapter 12, and this is Tony's chapter. Let me get a drink. The sun peeks through the clouds and collects in puddles of light between the trees on the drive to Travis's home. My phone beeps once when I pull the rental car into the drive. Nash waits for me at the front door, coffee cup in hand and pastry crumbs littering his blue polo shirt. I see Raven strikes again. Is it tarts or some other pastries this morning? I ask the blurry-eyed Nash. Cream pastries this time. I'm going to need to spend an extra hour on my workout, he grumbles jokingly. My workouts have been shorter, but I miss the food. We move into the house. The smell of sugar, cream, and buttery pastry fills the air. I follow my nose to the kitchen. The sight meeting me fills me with a lightness I hadn't known I was missing until it was there. Anna, at the island, her long blonde hair loose and flowing down her back. The light coming in from the large picture windows halos her head. A cup of coffee steams in front of her, and there's a half-eaten pastry on a plate. Raven is bustling around, preparing like she's expecting a party. They're talking about the merits of nutmeg, how I had lived without this light inside me. I greet everyone and watch Anna gauging her mood. Hey, Tony, would you like some breakfast? Raven asks. I can fix something more substantial for you if you need more than a pastry. This is lovely, thanks, I reply, but I can't take my eyes off Anna. She blushes as she returns to her coffee. I'll have to be more careful about how I look at her now. Sitting beside Anna, I watch Raven bounce around the kitchen, filling a cup with coffee and a plate with a pastry as large as the dessert plate it's on. Cream fills the center with a zigzag pattern of glaze on top. I sigh in delight. It's going to be a good day. Did you decide where you're going? Anna wants to know. I'm swallowing my first sip of rich dark coffee and the list off the locations we'll look at today. Washington Park's Arboretum, Japanese Garden, Kabuto Garden, and Bellevue's Botanical Garden. I showed Anna the house, and we have a few ideas for the shoot, Raven adds as she mixes some concoction in a large bowl. Confident in her magical abilities to talk and mix up something delicious, I asked Raven what her plans for the day are. Well, I thought we would throw a little get-together. Anna needs to meet Mallory, and Steve learned you were back in town, so he called Mike, and so we're going to have a party. If it's too overwhelming, we can always go to dinner somewhere else. I give Anna a grin. Raven gasps in shock, and horror fills her eyes. Oh, I'm so sorry, she backtracks. I didn't even think it might be a problem. We can cancel if you think it will make you uncomfortable. That's no problem at all. No, I think it sounds fun. The joy in Anna's voice strikes me. When was the last time she felt comfortable enough to enjoy herself? The rest of the morning passes very much the same, and Anna and I leave Raven to her party prep. I try to maneuver onto I-5 heading south, but traffic keeps snarling up, and it takes us half an hour just to cross 10 miles. Seattle traffic is so different from home. Anna's eyes scan the scenery out the windows of the SUV. At least the scenery makes it worth it. I've missed this display of fall colors. It reminds me of France. I find a parking spot and we head into the main building of the Washington Park Arboretum. We meet with a liaison and they suggest we take a walk in the woodland garden and the Japanese garden. I'm sorry about last night. Anna makes notes on a map. I wish we would have figured it out before we had to be awkward in front of Travis and Raven. She peers at me under her lashes. I'm as shocked as you. I was in such a hurry to get you here that I skipped that part somehow. I'm still perplexed that I missed such an important detail. She stops on the path and observes me, as if she's trying to see how my mind works. My mind is a mess, so I wish her luck. It is so unlike me to overlook such a detail when planning something. Thank you for all you've done, and do to keep me safe. I can never repay this debt. I know I wasn't fair to you in the beginning. I can't go back and fix what I said or how I acted. She studies the map in her hand, though she keeps talking. But I'd like to get to know you, the person you are now, not the person I made in my head. Hell, I want to know the person I'm becoming. Her head hangs down, gazing at her shoes on the path. I'd like that too. I hold out my hand, patiently offering it to her to take if she wants. She lifts her head first, then meets my gaze again and smiles at me, slipping her hand into mine. That lightness fills me up again as we continue on the path to the woodland garden. Anna marks the map for both the woodland and the Japanese gardens. We show them to the park liaison when we wind our way to the main building. After signing some paperwork and paying a deposit, we head to the parking lot. As I open the passenger door for her, I realize we have held hands the whole time. From Lake Washington Boulevard, we drive north on Arboretum Drive. After a while, we turn and pass by Parquet's Pizza, a favorite hangout for Travis before Raven worked for him. Turning left onto Martin Luther King Jr. Way, we pass Starbucks on the right. You'd think we'd see more Starbucks stores here, Anna jokes. I laugh while I drive, telling her I thought the same thing when we first moved here as we pulled into a Kabuta Garden parking lot. We meet with the director who tells Anna a bit about its history. They established Kabuta Gardens in 88 in memory of Fujitaro Kabuta, a Japanese national who became an American gardener and philanthropist. She informs us as we round a corner into the park. He was among the Israeli immigrants from Japan who made their new lives in the U.S. The garden is 20 acres of hills and valleys. Anna and the director mark out viable locations for the photo shoot while we walk. Having signed more paperwork and paid another deposit, we return to the car. Are you pleased so far? I ask as we buckle up. Yes, they're all so lovely. How did you know about these places? They featured some in Travis's show, and I spend some time walking in them while waiting for the shoot to finish. The next is where I'd go on my days off. She puts her hand on my thigh as I talk, and the heat from her hand seeps into me. My mind turns with thoughts about kissing her, pulling her into my lap, wrapping my arms around her waist as I kiss down her neck. This has all been so lovely. Thank you for sharing it with me. Mailman break. Are you done? Hi, Miss Queen, OG Queen. Don't mind, I mod for a handful of finance content creators. Just wanted to say hello, because although I live in Florida now, I'm from Carrollton, Texas. Oh, awesome. Okay. Sorry for the mailman. Okay, let's try this again. This has all been so lovely. Thank you for sharing it with me. She's so close. I want so desperately to lean over and kiss her pink lips, to take her face in my hands and run my fingers through her thick golden hair. Instead, I drive north on 55th Avenue, working hard to hold myself back. We hit serious traffic on I-45 on the way to Bellevue Botanical Garden. Luckily, I've become accustomed to the traffic here and in LA and keep my calm, though we often come to a complete standstill. It's so calming riding with you. I bet Travis loves having you work for him. Coming to a stop after moving only a few feet. I'm glad you feel safe with me driving. Glancing away from the road and over at her profile, shocked to hear myself continue. I'm thinking about starting a business soon. I've been working at Marshall Security since I got out of the Navy. I haven't even mentioned the idea to anyone. Well, I mean, I've been experimenting with the idea a little anyway. My gaze moves back to the road and traffic moves another inch. I think that's a great idea. I'll ask the guys to join me, spilling details. We're under her father's command for 10 years before a mission lost us 3 of our team in an intelligence snafu. Malcolm, Walt, Elliot, and I took our early out when it came from Naval Command. Nate stayed in. I cough to cover the emotions the memory brings up. We kept in touch over the years. 43 minutes later, and we find ourselves parked outside of the Bellevue Botanical Garden. They offer us a docent tour of the garden. It's interesting to learn about the spots I've spent time alone in. Anna's so animated as they mark out spots for photos, it makes me smile. I want to wrap her in my arms and take some of her excitement into me. A soft rain starts as we head back to the central building. She chuckles as she wipes drops of water dripping off her fingers from the paper she's signing. Anna pays another deposit to the director. You didn't bring an umbrella, Anna asks as she ducks under my arm and out into the front walkway when I hold the door open for her. I smile at her as we walk to the rental car. Umbrellas mark tourists in Seattle. Locals don't even bother with them. I place my hand on her lower back, ushering her to the car. We don't get the hard showers you get back home. I'm struck by a memory of Anna running into her father's house during the strong summer storm, and the sight of her soaked by the rain stirring a need within me to kiss her so fiercely that I had to leave the room, clearing my throat when I feel the flush of desire course through my body at the memory. I remember you running into your dad's house during a hard summer storm, makeup running down your face and shaking the water from your arms. I share part of the memory with her. Oh God, I must have been a mess, she laughs as I open her car door. 20 minutes into our drive back to Travis's house, Anna's phone rings and breaks the spell of our pleasant, quiet cocoon. Paige, how are things going? She listens to Paige give an update. What do you mean by strange phone calls? After a few moments, she asks, have you told the guys? As Paige continues, Anna gives hums when appropriate, following the conversation. I'm sure Elliot will follow every lead. Thank you, Paige. Don't worry about them right now. I set up the sites for the photo shoots and will begin next week. Take care of yourself. I'll be in touch. She hangs up and I wait for her to fill me in with a cocked eyebrow. Someone's been calling my business line asking some strange questions. Paige said Elliot is on it. Can it be the person who was following us before we left? Anna wrings her hands together, pink spots forming from the pressure she makes on her creamy skin. I know the guys have it, and I'm sure they'll have new information soon. Let's focus on the job you have here. You're safe with me, I promise. God, I hope I'm right. We pull into Travis's driveway, and I know Steve, Mike, and Mallory's cars parked along the road. Brace yourself. We have company. I motion the cars lining the front of the house. She giggles as I unbuckle my seatbelt. Coming around to open her door for her, she smiles at me. I'm looking forward to meeting your friends. Nash waits on us at the open door, the smells of delicious food spilling out. Thank God you're here. The smells are driving me crazy, and Raven won't let us have any until you got here, Nash grumbles good-naturedly. I pat his back as I move past him into the house, following Anna. We'll never fear. Your torture has ended. Voices drift back to us from the kitchen and dining area. Travis, Mike, and Steve are sitting out on the deck chatting. Mallory is at the island, trying to snag some tiny delicacy Raven is artfully arranging on platters. How did it go? Raven asks, in her light-hearted voice, as she shoos Mallory's hands away from the platters. It was lovely. I have so many locations mapped out for the shoots. Anna moves into the kitchen and near Mallory. You must be Mallory. Mallory sticks her tongue out at Raven like a 3-year-old. I can't wait to see what you have for us to model, Mallory greets Anna as the guys come in from the deck. This is Steve, Holmes guitarist and a freelance journalist. Travis introduces his best friend. Steve towers over Travis and almost everyone else in the room. It's hard to match his almost 7-foot height. Short brown hair and a comedian's open face, he greets Anna with a nod and a smile. I met Steve in the Navy before I went for Navy SEAL Buds tryouts, I add to Travis's introduction. Yeah, I knew when you were just a lowly squib, Steve jokes, offering his hand for Anna to shake. And this is Mike, Holmes' drummer, Travis introduces. His quick eyes speak of his intelligence and excellent observation skills. I might recruit him from Seattle's bomb squad someday. It's nice to meet you, Anna. Mike puts out his hand. She takes his hand after shaking Steve's. Both men are super polite, and it's clear Travis has updated them on her trauma. Let's hang out on the deck. I have everything ready for the buffet line. Raven gestures towards the food, and she doesn't have to tell anyone twice. I grab a plate for Anna and hand it to her. Evaluating the size of my plate, I give her a smile. I'm not sure I can get everything I want on here. I know I can't. Looks like multiple trips are in order. Her eyes fill with glee at the prospect. There's tomato and basil mozzarella toast, beef ribs barbecued in some kind of blackberry sauce, watermelon feta and blackberry skewers, grilled artichokes and cheddar corn. I grab what I can and follow Anna out onto the deck. The cool breeze feels awesome with a hint of the rain from earlier. She picks a seat close to the corner wood stove to keep the chill off her back. Mallory and Steve are flirting and play fighting in line in front of Raven and Travis, while Raven helps Travis put food on his plate. The sight of the sling on his arm strikes me with guilt again. I watch Anna as she replies to something Mike says and smiles, feeling the guilt ease from my chest a bit. I was where I needed to be in the end. Steve sits beside me and notices me watching Travis and Raven. When do you think he's going to pop the question? He whispers to me as Mallory talks animatedly with Anna over the locations and designs for the photo shoot. Any day now, I answer. The love between the two is so obvious a blind person could see it. My phone text message sounds alert interrupts my thoughts. Balancing my plate on my lap, I pull my phone from the holster on my hip, opening the text from Elliot. Elliot, Paige has been getting some weird phone calls to the business line. Sorry, small break. A guy asking to talk with Anna Hahn. He asked background questions about Anna, even after Paige said she wasn't available. I'm glad you told her not to say Anna was out of the state, I reply back. Elliot. Oh no, she figured it out herself. I got a trace and it's a burner phone, so we're out of luck there. I'm expecting him to get desperate any day now. I text back, keep me updated. Elliot, will do. You take care of Anna. Will do. Everything okay? Anna asks. When I put my phone away, her voice strained with worry. Just Elliot checking in with me. She watches me for a bit, and when I'm not more forthcoming, she lets it go. I hope Elliot is right, and this guy will slip up soon. Anna needs to feel safe again. All right. That is the end of chapter 12, everybody. If you would like to hear the previous chapters, they are in the playlist Tea Time in the Fire Inside. If you would like to hear the first book, Into the Fire, there's also a playlist for that. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you have a fantastic week. I've got... I guess Destiny says that is over. I hope you have a great time, everybody. See you soon.